Are taking notes. Very, very important stuff right here, guys. This is very important. It's something that I'm giving you guys for free right here. So make sure you take note. Very powerful concept right here. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's CalFX here, back with another one. I hope you guys had an incredible New Year's Eve and Christmas, right? And I hope you guys also took the time to reevaluate everything that you guys did in 2022. And you know, for me personally, 2022 was a great year. I think it was one of the best years I've ever had in trading so far. And I don't think it was just on the profitability side, but I think it was more on the self-discovery, right? Because I just believe that, you know, when you finally embark in trading, trading is really a journey of self-discovery, right? And self-mastery. You finally, in trading, you finally get to look at those things that you used to put off, right? Your impatience, your fears, your hesitations, your levels of discipline as well, is finally tested in trading, right? And, and most of the times, because, what I've seen is that most of the times you can just have a great strategy, but if you don't master yourself under stress, right, under the risk of real capital and stress, none of those things will work out, right? You will be impatient. You will want to get your money back by any means, by any means necessary. And I think, when you finally get to look at that side, the other side that you don't want to look at, right, which is the fears, the hesitations, that's when, your profitability starts to kick in and you're able to maintain emotional sobriety under stress, right? So I think that was just what 2022 taught me. But I think what really satisfied me the most, it was the collective success that I just seen on the mentorship, on the lifetime mentorship, is that we just had so many students passing challenges in 2022. We had people getting payouts, students getting payouts. And, we even had a student that was on the leaderboard with TFF. So, I mean, it was just a great year. I mean, it's very humbling to be able to provide that service and see that success in students. I think that's just what makes me happy. That's what really makes me actually want to provide more value to people. And also, I really appreciate the love that I see from people on the free Telegram group, right? That I've had so many people coming on my DM saying, Calvin, thank you for everything that you've been teaching us on the YouTube alone. And it's been able to advance a lot of people's trading. So I mean, it's very humbling. I really appreciate that. So I'll always try to make sure I provide more value for you guys. And I think this year I'll be more active on YouTube as well, and to provide more value. And also we'll be going on Discord right now. So I mean, I just want to make sure more and more students become profitable and consistent over time, right? So let's just hop on the topic of this video. So today's video, we will be talking about how to safely counter trend using the high time frame conference, right? And the reason why I decided to make this video is, the reason for that is because when I first started also, I used to trade only 4 hours, right? 4 hours hourly point of interest. I will, for example, wait for 4-hour break of structure, and then I will wait for price to come down to the 4-hour or the block, and then, continue to move to the upside. Pretty much just pro trending, right? But one thing that I've seen is that, the markets do change, right? The market conditions change. And what used to work probably 2, 3, 4 years ago is not happening like that, right? Before, I remember we would mark 4 hours, for example, in 2020, as far as I can recall it, I will mark 4-hour point of interest. I will wait for price to come back. Sometimes I will even set a limit, price will come back and hit the TP, or sometimes not. It was very common, right, for the point of interest, the high time frame point of interest to hold. But now it's like you mark the point of interest, they get violated, and later on you just find out that you just missed a great move towards the POI that you wanted. So that's just the topic of this video. I want to show you guys how you can counter trend safely, right? Using the higher time frame as a confluence, but you will be counter trend on the lower time frames, right? And it just would be able to, you'll be able to counter trend with high probability, right? So when you look at this schematic right here, I have these two schematics, right? So this one, for example, let's say hypothetically, we have this 4-hour break to the downside right here. So this is a 4-hour break of structure. This can be a change of character, or it can be just the second break, right? So we have a break of structure on the 4-hour, and we have the 4-hour point of interest. Generally, if you want to pro trend, right, let's say there is a bearish order flow on the high time frame, you will have to wait for price to pull back and then come to your point of interest before you drop down to lower time frames to be able to continue to move towards the downside. But for example, as an intraday trader, right, sometimes it may be very hard. I mean, it will take longer for price to come to your point of interest. So you may want to take advantage of the order flow that is happening right here, right? For example, we have this bearish break of structure, right? We can drop down, for example, this is a 4-hour, we can drop down to M15, wait for the structure shift on the M15, right, to turn from bearish to bullish. So then we can write the bullish order flow towards our point of interest. And then once price taps here, we can then look for sales, right? So the benefit of it is that you will be able to get involved, right? And this move towards the POI, you can still profit here. And by the time price comes here, you might not even want to trade this setup right here because you already just made your money here, right? That's pretty much what I do, right? Personally these days. So let's say this is a 4-hour, right? You got this 4-hour. So what I would recommend you to do when it comes to 4-hour, right? I would recommend you to wait for an M15 structure shift. So you have the low right here, the high, and then price made a new low. You wait for the change of character. So you have M15 change of character. What you can do is you can either set your limit order at the M15 POI. If the POI is very clean, right, you can set the limit order here, or you can drop down to M1 or M2, M3, wait for change of character and take the trade, or you can wait for the second break of structure, which is a confirmation of bullish order flow, which is a much safer way to counter trend. I would recommend you to wait for 2 breaks of structures, right? So then you have the M15 break right here. You can set your limit order here and then buy all the way up, right? Or you can drop down to lower time frame, such as 3 minutes, and look for that change of character so you can buy all the way up. So that way you will see that, okay, M15 has turned bullish. So then I can drop down to M3. I can wait for that change of character and I can write the bullish order flow towards my point of interest, right? And it's the same thing that we see, same thing when it comes to buys, right? Let's say you have an M15 break of structure to the upside and you're waiting for price to come back. What you can do is, okay, you can drop down, for example, to 3 minutes time frame or even 1 minute. And you can say, okay, if I see price comes here to the top, I can wait for the structure shift on the 1 minute. So I can write the bearish order flow towards my point of interest. And then I continue the move to the upside. Then I can pro trend. So this way right here, when you wait, you can wait for the change of character. On the lower time frames, I wouldn't recommend to trade the chalk once you see a chart change of character, because change of character is not really a good confirmation per se, right? It's just the first sign of bearish intention or trend reversal, but it's not a confirmation of trend reversal. So I would always recommend to wait for the second break and then you can take the trade, or you can wait for the third break of structure and then you can take the trade, right? So this is just the basics of counter trend. So you have a 4-hour, right, to push to the downside. You can wait for M15 change of character. If you have a 30 minutes or M15, you can just wait for 3 minutes the structure shift, so you can counter trend towards your POI, and then we move on, right? So let's just look. So let's just go to the charts and do a chart walkthrough on this example. So here we are on Aussie dollar, right? And right here we're on the 4-hour time frame, for example, right? So as we can see, let me just go to the daily time frame, right? Let me just so I can update you on the high time frame confluence. So when we look at the daily time frame, we have actually the 2 days time frame. We can see that the structure right here is is bearish, right? We can see that this is a nice bearish order flow right here. So price actually just came to the extreme right here of this point of interest. And now, once price comes at my daily point of interest, what I like to see is a 4-hour change of character. So let's just drop down to 4-hour, right? So as soon as we come to 4-hour time frame, we can see the price provided us a clean change of character right here. So we have this clean 4-hour change of character. So as I said, whenever you have a 4-hour change of character, I recommend you to, if you want to counter trend, right, the bullish order flow towards your point of interest, I recommend you to wait for M15 change of character or the whole M15 time frame to turn bullish, right, to go from bearish to bullish. So let's drop down to M15, right? So here we are on the M15. So let me just zoom in, okay? So if we look at the structure right now on the M15, I'm pretty sure you guys can clearly see that the structure is bearish right here. We had this low, we had this high, then price made this low, then we had a mitigation right here at the extreme, then price ended up breaking this previous low with this high. Then we saw the price actually came back to mitigate this point of interest and created a new low right here. So we can see that, okay, on the M15, the structure is still bearish, right? And eventually price has to start to pull back towards the 4-hour OB point of interest sitting above, right? So if I want to counter trend, I will wait for M15 to turn bullish. So I will at least want to see a M15 change of character, right? So let's just wait for that. Price comes, creates a new low. Okay, price now broke this previous high right here. We can see that, okay, if I bring price here, we can see that price just broke this previous structure high. This is a swing high, right? So price, we just had a break of structure. This right here was the change of character. As we know, change of character is not a confirmation of trend shift. It's just the first sign of bullish intention in this case, right? So the point of interest right here is not very clean because we can see that we don't have imbalance, right? And I actually made a video when it comes to the confluences we need when it comes to validate an order block. I actually pop up the link of that video for you guys to watch it. Very, very important video. So right here, we can see that the order, pretty much everything, the price action has been efficient here. We have this week right here that pretty much filled all the imbalance. So there is no clean OB right here for me to trade from. So in this particular scenario, I would wait. I would much rather see price coming back to mitigate whatever it wants to mitigate and give me a second break of structure, right? So let's just see what happens next. Price pulls back perfectly. And then let's see, play price a little bit more. Okay, then we had a break of this previous high right here. We had this bottom closure right here, right? So what was responsible for that? Now I can clearly see that we have a nice OB right here. We have this one right here, down candle before the up move that finally went on to take this previous high. And we can see the price actually had this reaction on the lower time frame. This is something that I actually teach on the mentorship, very important, right? This is just a reaction at a lower time frame, supplies on, pull back, and violation. Some people call this to be a supply to demand flip. Absolutely valid as well, right? And it's one of the reasons why I wouldn't choose this POI right here. So this right here would have been the point of interest, right, that I would choose. This is the second break. So up to this point, I can see that, okay, the structure on the M15 has gone from bearish to bullish. So now I have a safer counter trend because I have confirmation that the M15 now is turned bullish, right? So I can choose this point of interest right here on the M15, and I can set my limit order at this POI at the open. I can put my stop loss below the order block, give a nice buffer, right, a room to breathe. Or I can refine this point of interest if I want to increase my stop loss, for example, my risk to reward ratio. So let me just drop down. Let's just check the 10 minutes, for example. Here we don't have a clean one. 5 minute, we can refine to this down candle right here. That's absolutely valid as well. Let me just see 3 minutes time frame if we have something. Okay. This is a very, very nice order block sitting below right here. And the reason for that is because with the confluences, right, we have imbalances sitting below. So this is just another reason as to why price needs to come back to this point of interest. But also there is a possibility the price can just react to this order block as well and keep moving to the upside. Me personally, I like to take the extremes because it's much, it's much more valid, right? And also we have confluences right here, which is the imbalance. We had the huge momentum follow this down candle. So soon as we had this last point of seller's exhaustion, we had buyers come in with huge momentum that left imbalance. So this is just another confluence as to why price needs to come back to this point of interest. So I'll refine to this 3 minutes time frame. Let me just yeah, correct. So let me go back to M15 because that's where we was. So we can see clearly that we just refined this point of interest right here. So this is just a great topic on refinement. I hope you guys are taking notes. Very, very important stuff right here, guys. This is very important. It's something that I'm giving you guys for free right here. So make sure you take note. Very powerful concept right here. So I can just set my limit order right here. I can give a stop loss of about, I can give a 5 pip stop loss, or even 4 pip, 4.5, that's okay. But let me just give a round number. I use 5 pip stop loss. I'll set my limit order right here. Now, my target, right, as we know, right, because we actually trade in with the higher time frame confluence line, right, which makes the counter trend very valid, right, and safer. So I can just set my stop, my TP right here, right? This would have been my high time frame target, right, that I will just hold, right? So let's just see what happened. So price just came back, take us, oh, awesome, take us into the trade right there. And then we can see price actually moving towards the upside right there, right? So as we know, trade management, right? Once price breaks your M15 high, right? Once price broke this previous M15 high, that's when I would have gone break even right here, right? I could have gone break even at this point, and then you can just manage your trade. Once price comes to 1 to 5, you can decide to take partials, or you can take partials of 1 to 10 if you want to, right? Absolutely valid. So we can see right now, price actually is just stopped right here so far. But as we can clearly see, that was the confluence that we established from the 4 hour. I mean, we just came from the daily, then we saw the 4 hour change of character, and now we're counter trending safely, right? Just by using these 2 breaks of structure method right here on M15. So this is just very powerful. It's absolutely very repetitive. And you can see that, with the concept of refinement, we were able to actually reduce the stop loss and increase dramatically the risk to reward ratio. I think right now it reached about 1 to 13 risk to reward ratio. So, I mean, this is very valid right here. I also called this trade on the free Telegram group. Let me just show you guys real quick. I actually sent the another one, which was this one right here, which was the break right here, mitigation, then the second break. This was the 4th break of structure. So we had this point of interest. So you could just have set the stop loss, the entry above, stop loss below. And I had someone actually that on the public group that actually came and said that he caught this trade right here, which this right here was the point of interest right here. So let me just bring this to the left right here. So this right here was the trade that I sent right there on the free group. And on the mentorship, actually, my students had a much better entry on the lower time frame with the method you use. So the target actually is this high right here, the 4 hour, right? So that's pretty much how we counter trend using the, just by going down to lower time frames, but establishing that relationship with the high time frame is absolutely important when it comes to being able to counter trend safely. Okay, so guys, I hope I was able to get my point across in this video. I hope you guys take value from this video. And if you guys are, interested, feel free to join the free Telegram group. If you guys would love to join the mentorship, we have so many students becoming funded, some getting payouts, even some on leaderboard, right? So if you guys are willing on the mentorship, feel free to contact me. You have my contact on the description of the free Telegram group. And I hope you guys, so if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, right? Like the video, and I'll see you guys next time.